After a successful run on the West Coast, the musical play Rachmaninoff and the Tsar comes to New York City.
Here to talk about their one-night-only performance are acclaimed pianist, actor, and playwright Hershey Felder and actor Jonathan Silvestri. So great to have both of you here this morning.
Thank you for having us. Pleasure to see you.
Rave reviews over at Santa Monica and San Diego, where you premiered this, right? Let's talk about bringing it over here and why it's a one-night-only event.
Well, for now, one night only.
Okay.
Town Hall has been a thing that over the years I've done one night only before a long run. It's kind of like, we'll call it a preview, and then hopefully come back if the public likes it.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, why Rachmaninoff?
Rachmaninoff was a seminal composer in terms of romantic music, seminal composer for the piano. He also has an amazing story, and the piece was written in 2019 actually, but then COVID happened and there was no possibility of performing it. And this year theaters came and said, what would you like to perform? I said, well, this piece was written in 2019. And it was, when it was written, was about losing home because, you know, he had to escape from Tsarist Russia and came to America, and he made a very American life. And when I discovered his story about the connection to the Tsar, I was mesmerized by it. I said, this would be a good story to tell in the United States. In particular, started off in California because that's where he lived and where he died at the end of his life, where he died.
And you're known for bringing musical legends to life, right? You did Gershwin, Berlin, Beethoven, and here we are now with Rachmaninoff. Is this a theme that you like?
It's a need to pay rent. we all do what we have to. Right. But I've become known for it. So the theaters, they come on an annual basis, and every year, I swear, this is the last one. And they come back and say, what do you want to do this year? And the music is so romantic. It's so beautiful. It's also beloved. It ran, and you know, he underscored films. Not that he wanted it. It was after he died. Brief Encounter, and the other film that was famous was Somewhere in Time with Jane Seymour and Christopher Reeve. So his music is familiar and beloved.
And you play?
Tsar Nicholas II.
Okay.
Tsar.
So what was it like playing this role for you?
It was, I mean, it was amazing. I mean, I also get to hear Hershey play pretty much every day. This is something. But it's quite a role to take on in the whole gravity of it. And it's someone who's come to the end of a 300-year dynasty. So all these, and Russia going through all these different changes, it's quite something. But if you focus on that, it gets a little bit complicated. So we were focusing more on the human side of him, and as a father, and you know, he had this family, he had 5 children. So it was more to focus on how that affected his decisions and what decisions were made that affected Russia at the time. Yeah,
the themes still resonate with the audiences still and to this day. Right?
They do resonate with the audiences. It's a complicated story to tell now because it's about the end of an empire. And you know, people ask often in the theater, because we have an infamous talkback that happens at the end, sort of the encore, and the audience says, so did you write this to reflect anything that's happening today? And of course the answer is no. It was written as a story in and of itself, and I always say I try to stay true to the story that it is. However, if somehow it reflects anything that's happening today, it wasn't intended. But that's what art is supposed to do, isn't it?
Yes.
You know, so it's supposed to give us a sense of time repeating itself.
But you're blending at the same time, you know, storytelling with live music, and you're using the live music obviously as a caveat of telling the story at the same time. Can you talk about the infusion of both?
To me, narrative is always driven by, first, the music, especially when it's a composer of this sort. The music is so familiar, it's so beautiful, but it has to be narratively driven, because if it's not, then the whole thing just falls apart. So you choose music based on the narrative, and it's not, and then I wrote this and this happened. It's not that at all. It's really delving into his emotional state as an artist and how music is expressed. The emotional state of a human being is expressed through music. So it's less specifically what is happening in the music than it is his expression of what he's going through in his life and how that is reflected in the music, which we do know about Rachmaninoff because he said once he left Russia, and this is a very interesting story, once he left Russia, he could no longer really compose because he sort of lost his connection to home. So his sense of being in America was a touring pianist, constantly looking for that sense of home. The interesting thing about him is in the last 8 weeks of his life, possibly found home because he became an American citizen.
You know, it's interesting that we have you here today because you played epic roles in Borgia and the young Pope on a day that we have lost our pontiff today. But just reflecting back, how much do those roles impact how you handle roles like you are playing now in the Tsar?
Well, I think you take a little bit from each one. You bring always yourself to whatever you do, however you want to portray the character. And those were always, any opportunity to play any role is always a godsend. So it's you don't often get to choose. Always the ones that you think that you never be cast as, you get that role, and the ones that you think you'd be perfect for, you know, they kind of pass you by. So you always draw on each of those different experiences and bring them to, you know, with the best of your ability to honor whatever piece or character that you choose. Yeah.
Very good. Thank you both for coming in.
Thank you for having us.
One night only event for now.
For now.
For now, right?
For now.
So you can catch Rachmaninoff and the Tsar this Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. at the Town Hall, and stay tuned for more information on that. And with that, everybody, we'll be right back.